ahead, Rod.
Mr. Clark, you're calling the final Clemency Board report a whitewash. Why? What's wrong with it?
Well, the report basically tries to justify the conduct of the President's Clemency Board, which is not justifiable. It's a total failure, I think, from any measurement. It purports to solve the problems of reconciliation. It does the furthest thing from it. It's punitive in nature, it's begrudging in its character. It touches an insignificant part of the human beings involved. Look at the numbers of people. My judgment is that probably 2 million young men and some young women are in need of unconditional and universal amnesty. I think it's imperative that we use this report as a means of showing that need again. The report itself states that only 113,000 were even eligible for clemency out of 2 million. Then you look at the numbers that it's processed, and 20,000 only have become eligible for clemency under the board. And then you look at what's happened to them, and you see that of those, 14,000 will have some requirement of alternative service.
Do you think the public has to go along with an unconditional amnesty program?
The ACLU's had a major project for some period of time. Henry Swartzchild has headed it up, and in addition to a major educational program, it's had a major litigation program trying to enforce some legal rights for young men whose lives have been so entangled with a war not of their own making that they didn't like or believe in, and that has so damaged them and their future.
If there was an unconditional amnesty program, do you think that those that moved to Canada and Sweden would come back? Is there evidence that they would?
I think most would. I can't say that all would. That's their question and their decision. Our question, the American people, and our decision is whether we want the light of liberty to shine for them too. I hope we would want them to come home. I think we need them. We may learn something about how you find peace on earth if we'll open our doors to them. It's more than ironic that a society that accepted those who refused to fight in so many of the wars of Europe from so many of the countries there is now refusing the return of its own children.
Mr. Clark, the program Mr. Swartzchild has been working with certainly is very well known, has been well publicized around the country. It seems to me that you're not really saying much different now than Mr. Swartzchild and his people have been saying all along. Just what new things have we learned from this new report?
Well, this final report shows how right the ACLU has been all along, that the presidential clemency program was a failure in concept and a failure in execution. Never could reach but a minor fraction, a very minor fraction of all that needed amnesty. And even those that it could have reached and did reach, it reached inadequately and more often than not unjustly. Compounded wrongs. Where's equal justice in this society when the same president who pardons his predecessor who made him president absolutely and unconditionally and unquestioningly then sets up a program that again stigmatizes young Americans caught up in this war not of their making as criminal and forces them after years of their lives have already been scarred and wasted to a choice of going through a further involuntary type service in fact to get something that they have been led to believe they want that really doesn't benefit them at all. Where is the equal justice there when a Spiro Agnew can get an executive and judicial clemency on a plea of nolo contendere, and a young kid from the ghetto is wiped out because of a war that he never wanted and didn't want to participate in.
Do you
Essentially, there's nothing new to your views and to the ACLU's views as a result of this report. You're just saying the report reaffirms what you've been saying all along.
Absolutely. The report shows, and this is why it's imperative that the people understand the report, that this program hasn't touched the problem, that the need for universal and unconditional amnesty is absolutely as great as it was before this ill-advised and ill-executed program began.
Do you think that the president's amnesty program was a trade-off for the Nixon pardon?
I can't judge motives. I don't go through life doing that. I can judge facts and acts. And within a period of several weeks, to everyone's surprise, President Ford began to talk about what he called clemency, but it's not the kind of clemency you would want for your friend or I for mine, and then gave this full and unconditional and unquestioning pardon to Richard Nixon.
Thank you, sir.